Hey there, hope all is well. We're getting the day started and so much is going on today per usual. We're still in the middle of our behind the scenes series, Co-Work With Me, as we're building and we're creating and we're strengthening organizations, and I'm thankful to be here with you. So as my day is getting started, I just wanted to give this a quick this opening. And one of the things I think I'll start with this, right? You can't control people. You cannot dictate behavior. You cannot demand things to happen the way you want them to happen. Sometimes I think, can be very zealous about our desire to see things happen or to see outcomes that we want to happen. And the truth of the matter is, you cannot control people in your business, in your ministry, in your nonprofit, in your life, right? So the next best thing, what you can do is let go and let them. I'm referencing the Mel Robbins book, Let Them. It's a really, really good read that talks about letting people be themselves and you make the choice. The only person, my father used to tell me, that I can control is myself. So I have to own me, own my reactions, own how I respond. The second best thing you can do is build systems around things that requires specific and targeted outcomes. So with your team and with your staff and with people that you're working with, even your customers, and you can't control them, but if you need specific outcomes, if you need specific data sets, your job at this point is to build systems, whether it's the how-to, it's the SOP, or it's the actual tech behind what you do. And so your ability to build systems allows you to get what you're looking for, and it allows people to be people. It allows people to grow and to evolve and mature. And here's the wonderful thing, and I'll leave you with this: as you let people be themselves, they end up teaching you something that helps advance your thinking and your approach to life, to work, to business, etc. So take this to heart as we get our day started. Let people, let go, let you be great, right? You choose to do great things. You choose to respond the right way. You choose to build great products for your customers. You choose to service your customers well. You choose to be a great partner and stakeholder to those that you work with, and let that be your guide for the day. With that being said, let's go to work. All right, family. So we are in the middle of our day. It's been a day, and meetings back to back to back. Couple of thoughts here. Probably a main thought, right? And that's like it's this. It is the value of planning is huge, right? And you cannot beat planning. We teach our clients that the slowest way to raise money, to find outcomes and results, is through planning, strategy, sessions and thoughts, conversations. The truth of the matter is, it's slow, but it's required. The investment that you're making into your organization by way of planning and having these big strategic conversations, and sometimes small strategic conversations, is essential. And so my morning has been spent navigating through two different strategy sessions for two different groups, because it's necessary. And the thing about strategic thinking, the thing about strategic planning, is that when you engage in it and when you do it, it actually gives you the blueprint to sprint forward, right? You're able to run towards the goal a lot faster, and you're allowed to be aggressive and intentional with your energy and efforts and investment towards achieving the goal that you're trying to achieve. So while it can be daunting and time consuming and all consuming, it's important, and it's something you cannot avoid. What makes it better, what makes it easier to navigate through the toughness of planning and the conversations and the pull and push and pull of planning and all that's involved, is who you're having a conversation with, who's in the room. This goes back to something I said in the previous video and other videos about the book Who Not How, right? And asking the question, who should be in the room? Instead of focusing on how do I plan this thing and get this thing done, the question is who should be in the room with me to help me think through this problem, this situation, navigate through this thought, this concept to determine whether we should do this or do that. Having the right who's in the room is critical. I want to leave this with you. It's not enough to have the right who's in the room, but you must give them power. You must delegate responsibility to them. You must allow them to be the who that you know that they are, right? Let them lead, let them teach, let them guide, let them give you this answer to solution. And you may have some who's in the room who may be a little shy and insecure about, being leaned upon because, of their personality. Don't you shy away from being clear about your need for them to lead. You cannot be the smartest person in the room for every category of your business and what's going on in your business. Obviously, you should know what's going on. But it is important to have the right who's in the room to help you get from where you're trying to go, from here to there, right? You need the right people to help you get from here to there, the right people to help you make the right decisions and to process things well and to make the best strategic decision possible for your business, for your customers, for your stakeholders, and for you. All right, so I just wrapped up a call talking to a provider to an organization that I'm affiliated with. I'm on their leadership team and I support their work. And so this is part of the responsibility I've taken on. And one of the things that I think stands out to me and that's worth saying to you is the importance of adding value and sharing value. So in this case, I'm their customer, they're serving our organization. But in going through kind of this introductory process and giving our introductions and saying hello, this person asks, they did some research on what I do outside of my volunteering in this space and asks, for some guidance, particularly as it related to, potential growth and opportunity in their business. And based upon my expertise and area of contribution, I was able to share something with them. And I think about often the importance of relationships. And we talk about this often on this channel, the value of relationships, the value of adding value and sharing and contributing and giving to others and being generous. And of course, there are boundaries around that, right? That you and I and others have to manage. But it really is important for you as a business owner, a budding business owner, a contributor to your community, and those around you to think about how your skill set and knowledge base can add to someone else's well-being. So the meeting went over a little bit and this person wanted to ask a few questions just about, what I do and how it could help and. And so in sharing just a few thoughts, I talked for about 30 seconds in sharing a few thoughts. I actually shared an idea with this person that jogged a concept for me that can help me, right? So by helping them, I ended up helping me. And I don't necessarily look for that. I don't look for those opportunities when I'm communicating with people of how can I help you to help me and et cetera. But there's something about the blessing that's tied to being a giver, a cheerful giver, a willing giver, that there's some reciprocity there, whether it's from divine contribution or whether it's from this person you're talking to give it back to you or some other mechanism that's being unleashed in your favor. And so I walked away from the conversation just super appreciative of the opportunity to obviously meet this person where we can continue to do business with them, given the existing relationship that we have. But also the fact that I could help this person think about a problem that he is trying to navigate through. And when I talk about who, not how, when I talk about who, the who's that you need to talk to, sometimes the who's come into your life at random, unexpected times. And the person who has the answer to your problem and who can help you solve a problem within 30 seconds versus you trying to do it on your own. This person I was talking to would have been struggling trying to figure out an answer to a very specific problem. Strange enough, the problem he was trying to solve was very specific. And guess who he was talking to? Not for this purpose. He didn't know who I was. He didn't know exactly what I did and how it worked. He kind of started to put two and two together before we got on the call. But then we talked and he's like, you're the guy. And so we talked business that we needed to talk about. But he had a specific question, and I gave him a very specific response that can help this person in his business and his partners resolve the problem and possibly grow. And not only, so this is where I get excited, right? This is not only a situation where I was able to help them, but we're in business to make money. We're in business to serve people. We're in business to make money. The solution I gave this person, I helped him identify where the money actually is so that he can better serve his customer. And if he can unpack what I shared with him and start to pursue what I shared, it can make a significant, meaningful difference in his business today. And the question is, who could he have gone to get that response or get that answer? Who would he know to talk to? Like, how do I reach out to my friends to ask this question, and who can put me in touch with somebody free or paid or over a cup of coffee or over dinner to answer my question? So the randomness with which you find the who's in your life is such a divine thing. And this is why you got to keep your mind, your eyes, your heart open to the people that you meet, because you never know who you're entertaining or who you're talking to. You could be talking to the person who was sent to you to be a blessing, to answer your question, to address the issue that you are struggling with, and address the question that you are trying to answer in your business, in your life, in your situation. It matters how you treat people. It matters how you engage with people. It matters how you show up for people and show up for yourself. It also matters that you are constantly thinking about how to be present for people so that you can be a blessing to them. And I'll close with this. There's always good in identifying how you can be a blessing or receive blessings, rather. It's always good to identify how you can receive blessings. But I want you to be open-minded in thinking about how you can be a blessing to someone. And they may not ask for the blessing outright, right? But they may come with a question relative to the flow of the conversation. And that's your moment to share. That's your moment to shine. That's your moment to give. That's your moment to provide. Be on the lookout for those moments, because it will come, and they come often. And someone is looking to you for information. Be ready to share, and vice versa. As you're engaging in a flow of conversation and you start to hear buzzwords and things that are making you think, be on the lookout for who you need to talk to, who you can engage. And watch this. This person got the answer to his question for free. Everything does not cost money. It just costs your kindness. See you later. Man, I just wrapped up a conversation with our accountant and bookkeeper, and so helpful, right? And again, this theme of just who do you have on your team? Who can you contact? Who can you work with? Who can you call upon? It is important to have people on your team. So I was talking to my accountant, and we were talking about my cash management playbook, what I want to do, my goals. And my accountant said to me, well, you want to have this in the bank, right? And I said, we have more than that, and here's my why. His response was, oh, you're ahead of it then. I don't feel like I'm ahead of it, right? Because of how I'm looking at the numbers and where I want to be for our overall company budget and what I'm looking to see in the bank. But then I paused and I said, listen, I've talked to people over the years, and I have the philosophy I have because I want to make sure I'm running healthy organizations. But I've heard this from mature, well-seasoned entrepreneurs, about what to have in the bank, right? For 6 months. That was the target. And I said, why? Why do people say this? And so he said, well, this is kind of best practice, but you're ahead of schedule. You're ahead. And my response was, I hear you. I'm not sure if I'm going to fully receive that, because I want to guard against having to tap into any debt. I want to manage money well. I want to be a great steward. I want to communicate that to the business owners, the nonprofits, and the customers that we work with, that we support, that we advise, that we coach, to give them hope that they too can do it. And for those who are starting up, those of you who are watching this co-work with me series that you can hear the playbook, the strategy on how to get from here to there. Because when you're launching your dream and your vision, you are the chief financier, the chief banker of your business. And how do you do that well? How do you manage what's put in your possession well? For those of you who are starting a business or as a side hustle along with your regular job, how do you budget your money well from your job so that your business can have a good shot at getting off the ground? There's a lot of work to do outside of managing money, such as learning sales and marketing and branding, customer behavior, competition, the whole nine, let alone adding good money management to your plate. And the goal is to not make it harder than it needs to be. But how can we as business owners, for some of you micro business owners, small business owners, do a better job and not live paycheck to paycheck? And as you are managing and launching your side hustle, your business while you have a job, this is the time. This is the time to start to do it well, right? To be aggressive, to read books and to take coaching and to watch good YouTube videos like this one that's encouraging you to dig deep, right? And to establish the foundation so that you can do things well. I remember I was working for one of my former employers, and my business, I figured some stuff out and we started to do well. And I realized that my business took off so much that I started making my salary at my employer with my business, and my business was a side hustle at the time. And then my business started making more money than my regular salary at my job. And I attribute that to just being persistent and consistent in researching, studying, and figuring out how to do my business well. And there's some things I wish I studied on top of that, but what I learned that has become an invaluable skill, a priceless skill, is learning how to sell and how to get better and how to position our products in front of our customers and how to let them know how much we care, how we can help them, and how to price better and how to get things done more efficiently, so on and so forth and so forth. And it is because I had the precious gift of a job and doing a good job at my job while building a business. And I'm telling you, it's the same, right? This conversation is about, I want to be great at cash management. And I have these habits because I want to be successful, but I've also failed. I want to grow what we have, but I've also made some epic mistakes, and I'm not going back, right? So when my accountant tells me you're ahead, you're in a great place, I'm like, maybe when I get to this point, right? I share this as some of the thinking that goes into building your business and why co-work with me exists, why this video series matters. Because we want to make sure that we're in a good spot. And I'm thinking about all the businesses that I'm a part of and businesses that I'm leading, and listening to my accountant, what he said, if I take his math, monthly salary cost times 6 months, that's what you should have in the bank. We're doing okay. We're doing pretty good. But there's a lot more to do, a lot more to grow. I'm going to reiterate some books. Who Not How, got to get your copy. Profit First by Mike M. I think he pronounced his last name Mike McConowitz. You got to get that because it lays the foundation of how to look at cash management, money management in your business, particularly as you're looking to build it successfully, intentionally, purposefully. I believe in you. I believe that you're on your pathway. So hopefully you found this segment of Co-Work With Me helpful. See you guys. Hey y'all, hope all is well. Hope this day finds you doing well. Glad that we have another opportunity to connect and to be on our journey of building businesses and growing businesses. One of the things I'll kick off the day with is the importance of creating systems for your business. And your business cannot be too small for the creation of systems. In fact, the smaller it is, the better it is for you to start that journey of building systems. And it's because you're at such an early stage, particularly with the micro business, where you can build systems that won't be disruptive, to your workflow, but it comes at a good time where you can create things and it can have an impact almost immediately. And that is an advantage that you want to take full advantage of in your small business, in your micro business. Build the systems that can give you the results now. So instead of you worrying about how to get results when things have scaled and things have blown up and your business has grown tremendously, this is a good time to say, in the early stages, I want to accomplish X and I need X to happen on a regular basis. And so the question that you got to ask yourself is, well, how do I get X results on a consistent basis? And so you get X results by figuring out what steps you take to get the same results over and over and over again. If you're getting the same results over and over and over again, then you can build a system around that, whether it's a how-to guide, follow steps 1, 2, 3, and 10 to get the results, and or, which is probably more efficient, is use a piece of tech, software, application, whatever it is, to repeat the activity over and over and over again. The repetitive nature of it makes a difference. So for example, let's say that you have people helping you build your widget or make your cupcakes or produce a result for you, right? And you pay them on a per diem basis, as needed basis, stipend, whatever the case the situation is, and you need them to follow steps. Now you can give them a written how-to guide in a PDF, which is fine and certainly helpful. However, the PDF is littered is I think pre-baked with mistakes. And what I mean is the actual use of the PDF itself can be misused, ignored, missteps can take place, people can skip over things, etc., etc. So how do you get consistent results? You can do training over and over and over again. You can tell people just make sure you check off boxes and have check boxes with every element of the PDF, or you can spend a little bit extra money and create a spreadsheet that has checklists. You can use Google Forms, you can use Jotform, you can use Airtable, other forms or app-like activities or app-like platforms that requires people to pull up an app, check a box, and they can visually see the box. And if they hit submit without checking all the boxes, then they get an error and they have to go back through to verify that they've done everything. You can use your project management software. We use Asana here. And in Asana, we have repetitive tasks that need to get done every day. So we set the auto reminder feature to turn on. So when you complete a task, you're reminded to do the same thing next day, same directions, things are automated, etc. You can use Monday.com, you can use ClickUp, you can use what's the name of that platform? Everybody, Slack. You can use Slack. You can use whatever platform you want to get the same result. And the difference between using a PDF file versus one of the systems I mentioned, whichever one you can afford, the difference is the system will automatically do the reminding. The system will do what you tell it to do. In my case with Asana, we have the same directions that we want people to follow. And so we put the same directions in there and it repeats itself over and over and over again. Also in Asana, if you don't have repeatable tasks, but you have activities that need to get done to complete a milestone, then the milestone sits at the top and everything else that's below or that fills out the rest of the plan is there. And you can outline all the steps that need to be taken within the actual project so that people can follow the steps in sequential due date order. These are the ways that you can build systems, and this doesn't cost you a lot of money. Now you may say, in the micro business phase and we only make $7,500 a year, is it worth it? Yeah, because ultimately if your desire is to double your $7,500 to make $15,000 a year, and you need to take things off of your brain, you need to think less and do more, or have people do more and follow your steps, the fastest way to do that is through a system. Right? Through some sort of interface that allows people, even yourself, to do the right thing without thinking about it. When you go and place an order at a restaurant and the server pulls out their device, whether it's a fast food, fast casual, or a sit-down restaurant, the interface with the system allows them to make very few mistakes. So if someone orders this dish, you push the button. If it needs to be customized, depending on the POS system, you can push the minus button, and it removes said toppings from said dish so that it still prints out the same consistent messaging and language to the cooks in the back who have to make the food. This is a significant transition, right? Where you can actually get results that's consistent and you don't have to worry about trying to read somebody's handwriting or did they type it in wrong, etc., etc. Systems make a difference. It allows you to scale. And so I want to challenge you to think about the systems you can create and build so you can scale and grow your business. It's essential for your micro business. It's essential for the business you decide to build going forward. It's never too early, and you can make reasonable investments that won't break the bank. But you will notice that the bank will have a reverse effect because instead of losing money, the system will help you make money. Hope you find this helpful. And today, think about systems. Begin with the how-to steps and then figure out the right piece of tech that can help you get there.